Hey, how you doing today? My name is Relyea, and thank you so much for stopping by. Today, we are going to be going over how to find every Stag Station in Hollow Knight, and we're going to be beginning with the very first one. So bear with me, because I know that a lot of you probably don't need the very first Stag Station, but if I don't do the first one, then is it every Stag Station in the game? I think not. So this is actually where we'd normally find Cornifer. So we went down from Dirtmouth, and now we're gonna head down and to the right. So yeah, like I said, I have a feeling a lot of you guys don't need this one. So what I'm gonna do is leave timestamps in the description, so that way you guys can follow along. Oh, wrong way. Oh, taking all the damage, just trying to rush straight through. There we go. We're gonna be okay though. Don't worry, I still got this. We made our way over to the right. We make our way right one more room, and then up. I forgot how annoying these guys were. But look at that. I got that super speedy charm on, so I can run super fast. Oh, now I'm going the right way. I know what I'm doing. Shoot. So only this way is blocked. Normally, when you play for the first time, this area is actually going to be open. It's not until you get to late game that certain paths get blocked. Alright? So this is the other side of what we were just at. You would normally come up right here. There's the map. Look at that. Just make our way up and around. And if you head over to the left, right in this room, this is where you'd find the first Stag Station. So if you're really lost early game, hopefully this will help out. And once you get here, this actually opens up 2 Stag Stations, because this is your fast travel. This will get you over to Dirtmouth nice and easy, and just like that we found the first 2 Stag Stations. And so from here we are going to keep going. We're gonna go find Stag Station number 3, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna head down, and we're gonna head over to the left into Greenpath. And so you wouldn't want to do this until you had gotten your first spell ability. And by first spell ability, I mean this right here, essentially the Vengeful Spirit. That's what you want to get. It'll be a little bit smaller the first time you use it, and it'll be white, but that's what you're looking for. That's what's going to allow you to gain an opening into Greenpath. I'll show you what I'm talking about right here. Head over to the left, and when you were, oop, wrong button. There we go. So when you're here on the map, we're going to drop down just a little bit and then over to the left. So right here, just hug this left wall, and you find this nice green area here. And just like that, we made our way into Greenpath. And so you don't really need a whole lot of abilities or spells or anything like that, other than that one, because you'll have one boss that you have to fight. But over here, this is early on. There's certain areas where you have to go, and then as you progress further and further into the game becomes less linear, meaning you can actually go multiple different paths to get to the same area. And what's nice is as you get more abilities and more spells, it makes it so that you can backtrack a lot faster. So here we are in Greenpath, and normally you can't make the jump from here to there, but once you get this dash ability that you find in Greenpath, it makes it so you can do that, right? So normally you'd go down and around, and eventually we're going to end up here right where that purple pin is. That's where the Stag Station is going to be. So we're going to go ahead and keep heading to the left and make our way over there. And this Stag Station is actually where you want to go before you fight the boss. It gives you the dash ability. Reason being is there's a bench here. Alright, I shouldn't have jumped up on the wall. If you're doing this for the first time, you won't have the ability to jump up on the wall. So I guess that's kind of cheating, huh? Do I have to do it without showing you? I should show you everything. So eventually what's going to end up happening is when you come from the bottom, you will make your way to this column right here, this first one. And then you would climb up. Just like that. You don't need double jump, you don't need You don't need anything. You don't need to be able to wall jump. In fact, you won't have the wall jump until later. So you'd come up, and then from here you'd have to go to the right. You have to defeat this little guy. Again, you don't need wall jump. I'm just doing it to save time. If you see any spells or abilities that you wouldn't normally, you pretty much have nothing at this point. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just know that you're going the right way, and everything's gonna be okay. All right. So once you drop down, here we are on the map. We made our way up across the top and dropped down. Now, we just have to drop down a little bit further. Right here. Ooh. Not gonna lie, kind of scared me there for a second. This right here is the boss that will give you the dash ability, but we're not worried about that. See this sign here? This sign is what lets you know where the stag stations are. So if you see them out and about in the world, follow them. And so right here, this is how you know you're at a stag station. This is what will give you that that fast travel. Ring the bell, get your friend here, and just like that, we found the 3rd stag station. So this is to Greenpath. So next, we don't want to go to Queen Station. That's actually pretty far away. Let me see what we're gonna do next. All right, so the next one we're gonna do actually is going to be in the City of Tears. So what we're gonna do is head over to Dirtmouth, and I'm gonna kind of speed this up a little bit and get you to a place that we were earlier, and just for the sake of time. Essentially, what you need next to be able to get this 4th stag station is you need to have the wall jump. In order to get the wall jump, you would head down into the fungal wastes, and you'd make your way into the Mantis village there. Once you get into the Mantis village, that's where you will find the wall jump ability. The Mantis Claw. That is the correct name of it. Okay, so I did a quick fast forward, and that is to bring you back to here. We've already been in this room before, but now we're going to drop down and make our way into the fungal waste. And then from there, we can make our way into the City of Tears. See this? Look at this. This is the first place where you get the dash ability, and it really lets you progress. So again, we just made our way into the fungal waste, and there's really not too many places to go. We're gonna drop straight down, and once we get to the very bottom, we'll go to the right. So just have to watch out for all that acid as you're getting through here. If it's your first time through, right here is a NPC called the Leg Eater, and there's actually a bench that you can sit on. It's not really a bench, it's like a bug. But yes, you want to sit there, because if you are coming through here for the first time, you don't have Mantis Claw. It can be kind of tough, not gonna lie. It's just a very long trek as you are exploring your way through. So to show you where we're at, we made our way to the bottom, heading to the right, and now we're just kind of following the path around. So right here, kind of start to see where the city has locked itself away. And it is all closed up. It is guarded. Trying to stay away from the likes of us. Alright, so here we go. Getting further into the fungal waste. And again, you have to have... Oh, if you couldn't get through here, these purple mushrooms, you just have to down pogo. Just jump and attack down while you're in the air. And it's actually super useful when fighting enemies. Okay. So right here, in order to progress from here, you would need to go to the left and down. That would get you into the Mantis village, and that's where you get the wall jump. You cannot progress from here without the wall jump. But once you do, I'm going to assume that you beat the first boss. That was at the Ancestral Mound, and that will give you an item to be able to open up the door over here. So you'd come through here, and you do all your platforming, you know, all the fun stuff. Open up the door. It's easy. You'll get it your first try. Don't even worry about it. it's not so bad. So once you get to here, that first boss that you beat dropped an item, and that item is called the city crest. Once you give this statue the city crest, it'll make it so you can get into the city. But just note that you won't be able to get out of the city because it locks. So there's a couple of ways to get out of the city. You can find a simple key, and that simple key will let you get into the royal waterways, which will let you get down and out on the other side of the City of Tears. And then also there is a Stag Station on this side of the City of Tears. There's a bench right there. If it's your first time through here, you'll see Coral, and Coral's just kind of chilling out. Honestly, I think Coral's probably one of my favorite characters in the game. I don't know why. He's just a cool dude. So I can't remember if you have to take, I think you have to take this upper path. So I went a long ways without showing you the map. We went across the fungal waste. We did a lot of platforming. We dropped straight down. Now we have to head over to the right to get into that area that's not shaded in, and then we got to go up and to the left. So we're gonna come across, fight the enemies. These guys do take a little bit. Again, you don't need double jump. You don't need a whole lot of special abilities in this area. Oh, and also before we progress, once you made it to the bottom of this this room that I'm at now, if you head over to the left, that's where you can upgrade your nail, which is super helpful. Extremely helpful. So right here, that sign is telling you that there's something there. That's where you'll find Lem, who will sell stuff to you. Okay, so from here, we'll head over to the left. Then we'll make our way up. Again, it'll be a little bit harder your first time through here because you're not going to be two-shotting these enemies. They will take a little bit more damage than that. But make your way up and around. So here we are on the map. We're gonna keep climbing and keep heading to the left. We're gonna get to a safe spot here in just a little bit. We've only seen that one bench so far, but there will be more. There we go. Open up some paths for ourselves. Make our way down, open up another path. All right, and so now we can head over to the right. And this is what's going to allow us to get up and around. Look at this. See this? Lets us know we got a bench on the way. Safety is coming. So keep making your way all the way up. And once you see these pages here, we know that Cornifer is nearby. Whoa! But I forgot we have to do this little fight. Whoo! Caught me off guard. I'm telling you, this game always surprises me. Never ceases to amaze. And so that can be kind of a tough fight before you have a fully upgraded nail. Alright, so here we go. So you got a much needed bench. Go ahead and take that. You got Cornifer right there. And we shall progress. What? I have never seen Zote here before. I'm really confused right now. What is this? Boy, watch where you're going, you soggy vagabond. I don't want you splashing me. I've had a miserable time trying to keep dry. I am Zote the Mighty, a knight of great renown. If I decide that I'm going to stay dry, then that's what's going to happen. Curse this wretched city. Water and monsters constantly fall from above. It's no wonder this blasted kingdom fell to ruin. Why does the air weep? Is this kingdom trying to mock me? I shed my last tear long ago. Have you seen them? The guards who still patrol the city even after dying. Being overly devoted to one's duties is no virtue. This is... I'm surprised. I've never seen Zote here before. When we were going earlier on and we didn't see Zote's body, I was very surprised. I wonder if it's because we saved Zote before we saved Bretta? So Zote doesn't have anywhere to go? I don't know. That's really interesting. All right, so now we gotta do some climbing, and this can be pretty difficult. Don't forget to open up this switch here, because if we look on the map, it takes us pretty much to the other side of the gate where we first started earlier. I can show you real quick. Why not? Why not? This is where we were earlier, right? This is how we got into the City of Tears. So this is like a nice big giant shortcut. So now if we head up, there's actually a simple key in this room over to the right. There's a couple of openings, and one of those openings on the far right has a simple key that will take you down into the city storeroom. So the first time you get through here, you're going to head over to the left and then come up and around, and just like that, we find the city storerooms, a much needed bench. Last one wasn't too far away, but I feel like the benches are kind of far apart here, and we have to pay 200 geo to open up the city storerooms. Okay, so from here, the next thing I suggest you do is going and getting the Desolate Dive Ability, and so that's the one that will make you slam onto the ground like that. It's powerful. It's good. It will open up some paths along the way. So the way you get there is that bench that we were at earlier where we found Cornifer. If you head over to the right, so it is right. If you head this way, you can head up and around, and there's a boss fight, right? Once you get that, I suggest that you head down into the Royal Waterways, and then we're gonna get to the other side of the King to the City of Tears, and we'll get to the King Station. And the reason why you have to go through the Royal Waterways is that right here there's a locked door, and you can't get through it until you get through the Royal Waterways. The reason why you want the Desolate Dive Ability is because there's not a whole lot of benches in the Royal Waterways. There's not a whole lot of things to help you out. It's a very long path that you have to go. But there is a bench. I'll show you where it is, and we'll go from there. So let's go. So just a heads up, before we go making our way all the way over to the King Station through the Royal Waterways, you absolutely must go to the Crystal Peak, and you have to make your way all the way over to here in order to get the Crystal Heart ability. You need to have the Crystal Heart ability to be able to make your way through the Royal Waterways. And also, before you get here, I highly suggest you get that Lumifly lantern. Okay, so from here we're gonna drop down and kind of get back to where we were. But one of the things I want to do is show you. I forgot about the spikes. I'm gonna show you kind of roughly where that boss fight was. I wonder if Zote's still here. Probably not. Okay, so from right here, here's the bench. There is actually a breakable wall over here, but you have to get to it from the other side. Save you just a couple of seconds as you're trying to get to this boss fight. Ooh, jumped on me. So right here, if you head over to the right, that's where you're gonna eventually make your way over to a boss fight. But we're not doing a boss fight right now. I'm gonna show you where the Royal Waterways are. And then we are going to go find the King's Station. There we go. Oh, one more. So here you go. Here's Lem, and he will be waiting for you at the fountain, which is just down and to the right. So here we go. This at the bottom is the Royal Waterways. In order to open up that room, you need to be able to get a simple key, and there's a couple of them around. So this right here is where the door is normally locked, and you have to get to the other side to be able to hit this switch. So because this is locked, we have to make our way down and around. So we're gonna make our way down into the Royal Waterways. Again, so this is one of those places I think that you want to have the Lumifly lantern, See how my little knight, when he's walking, he's got a little white thing in his hand? The Lumafly Lantern is an item that you buy in Dirtmouth from an NPC named Sly. In order to get to Sly, right here on the map, Sly is in that room. He's in one of those buildings. So you have to go visit Sly. He will then show up in Dirtmouth. He will open up his shop. And from there, you can buy a Lumafly Lantern for 1,800 Geo. That's right, 1,800. It makes a couple of places in the Crystal Peak easier. And then it also makes going through the Royal Waterways easier. And then later on, I can't imagine doing all of Deep Nest without the Lumafly Lantern. So 1,800 Geo, you're gonna have to grind for it. It's one of those things you just kind of do it. So now that we're in the Royal Waterways, we're gonna head over to the left. I'm gonna drop down. Look, tells us, hey, go this way for a bench. No problem. I can follow that sign. You can trust it. Make our way down. So right here, I'm pretty sure that you need the Desolate Dive ability to break open this wall. If you don't have that, for whatever reason, you're not following the instructions, you can come up and around. You can come down over here and then around and do everything, but it's just kind of nice to have a bench. The other thing is if you head over to the left from here and kind of stay up towards the top, you will eventually find Cornifer over here and you can get a map from him. So anyway, Desolate Dive down here. That'll break open those things. You get yourself a nice little bench, and then you can break open the wall from this side, or I always come from this way for some reason. Why do I go this way? I don't know. There's all kinds of enemies here. I don't think they can reach me. They're disgusting though. I hate them. They sound awful. Anyway, so here we are. We're at a crossroads. This is one of those things where it's nice having that bench, because if you head up and to the right, there's a boss fight with the Dung Defender, which you will want for later to be able to get an ability called Isthmus Tier, which is kind of on the way to where we're going. There's sometimes I'm kind of giving you guys a little bit of extra information just because there's so much. We're already here. Might as well help you out. All right, so we'll make our way down and around. Ooh, what was that? Oh, I broke something. Okay, I'm breaking the stuff. So here, you need the Crystal Heart ability. You see the little crystals here? That's how you know you need the Crystal Heart. You make a way, fly like an eagle across the side. And when you get here for the first time, all that acid is just in your way, and there's not really too much you can do about it. Once you get here, if you come up and to the right, this will open up once you've defeated the Dung Defender. Otherwise, this will be full of acid otherwise. If it's full of acid, you better go defeat the Dung Defender and also hit the switch. Hit the switch that will open this up. Otherwise, you're gonna have to go to the left. That stuff is green in the background because I already defeated the Dung Defender. I've been neglecting the map, I think. So we just did our Crystal Heart ability all the way over to here. So now we can make our way back up into the other side of the City of Tears. Oh. Get yourself a little NPC here. You can talk to her if you want. Why not? Why not? So now that we're here in the City of Tears, if you head all the way over to the left, you can make your way to the other side of that locked door. Ooh! Otherwise, watch out for those guys. Oh, that's funny. The marker got glitched on the map. I wonder if I can I get it off? I can. Okay, there we go. Otherwise, here we go. Here's the King Station. Oh, now this is glitched on. Interesting. Okay. So here is where we have the King Station, right here. Same little sign. Much needed bench. Call our stag friend over. And just like that, Nice and easy. Not really. It's kind of a lot of requirements for that one, for the King Station. But what's nice about the King Station is it's kind of in the middle of everything. Lets you get over to the Kingdom's Edge. Lets you quickly get down into the Abyss from here. And there's a couple of different other places you can go. So speaking of down into the Abyss, I feel like that is a very good place to go next. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so before we go down into the Abyss, this is going to take us over here down into the hidden station. That's right where that little purple pin is, right there in the center of the map. And if you have the Crystal Heart ability, you pretty much have everything you need. It is possible to get this without the Crystal Heart ability if you know how to pogo even decently well. There we go. So again, if you go up and to the left, that's how you open up the other side of the City of Tears. And if you head down and to the left, this is how we get into the Abyss. The bad area. The darkness. Look at that. There's some black little orbies. Ooh, kind of floating around. You gotta watch out for those spikes. They'll get you. They still get me. They still get me. There we go. So make your way over to the left. And these enemies can be kind of annoying. Again, you can do this without double jump, but on the bright side, you will be getting a double jump here very, very shortly. Because in order to get to this next place, you must have double jump. What? But why are we going down here if we don't have double jump yet? Well, I just showed you how we went from the King Station. We dropped down that shaft right here. We dropped down this elevator shaft that's broken. We made our way over to the left. Here's a tram station, which you get the tram pass over in Deep Nest. So not really, if you may or may not have that yet. So now that we made our way here, we actually cannot make our way up. Oh, here it is. We can't make our way up here yet until we have the double jump. So you kind of be bummed if there's no way to get double jump. But what's nice is that double jump is super close by. So go ahead and use the bench here. And then from here, you will use Crystal Heart to get over to the left. Or you can just kind of pogo your way across. If you want to kind of cheese your way through this, it's completely possible. Kind of a long ways to go, but totally possible. I'm just on Crystal Heart. It'd be kind of tough to get up there, but it's possible. Just saying. Apparently it's possible. So normally when you come through here, you see this is locked. So the only way to get through there is to come down, and you'll go around until you eventually make your way to the other side of this door, and you'll get to a boss fight, and that's what will give you the double jump ability. So rather than show you the boss fight, I'll leave that to you. You have to do the boss fight. You have to get double jump. Once you do that, you can head back over here. Don't forget to save at the bench. And then you make your way over here. This next room we're going to be passing is kind of a big one, kind of an important one. This is the Palace Grounds, and to get into White Palace, you need the Dream Nail, and you need to get it to the Awoken state, meaning you have to beat a bunch of dream bosses. So here we have the Hidden Station. Boom. 300 Geo. Can you afford it? I hope so. If you made it all this way. Look at all the spools of thread back there. Thread. Some silk, if you will. Alright, so what are we going to do next? Okay, so I'm going to assume... I guess I shouldn't assume. What we're going to do next is we're going to make our way over to the Resting Grounds. And in order to do that, we have to first be able to get into the Crystal Peak. There are two ways to get into the Crystal Peak. One is to have the Lumify Lantern from Sly. Again, if you're skipping around in the video, you find Sly here on the map. Once you talk to him in this little building, he will then show up in Dirtmouth over here, and you can buy the Lumafly lantern for 1800 geo. The other way to get into Crystal Peak is to have the Desolate Dive ability. Once you have a way to use the Desolate Dive ability, there is a way to break the rocks. So if you go with the lantern, I believe you go in this way, and if you go with the Desolate Dive, I think you get in this way, if I remember correctly. So what we're going to do is we're going to go fast travel over to this earlier Stag Station, the Forgotten Crossroads, and I will show you where we're going. Okay, so now there's a chance. Alright, so once you make it here for your first time, if you have already gotten double jump, you have now unlocked the infected Crossroads. It's no longer just Forgotten. So we don't make our way to the right in this first opening here. We're gonna go up one more. Go up one more opening. And as you can see, this whole area used to be not so bad. Now it's a little extra deadly. So here is the way that you would get in if you had the Lumafly lantern. And also, just a heads up, you would, in order to get the door open, there is normally a, I don't know, one of those geo tolls that you have to pay to be able to get in here. So that's this way for getting in on the map. The other way to get in is actually if you were that little switch that we passed. If you go there, head all the way over to the right. Right here, you'll find a friendly NPC named Mila, and you will also find a an elevator that takes you up to the top. And right here is where you'd use the Desolate Dive ability to get in. Either way, you end up making your way into Crystal Peak in roughly the same area, and now you can follow along no matter which way you ended up coming in here. I think that you probably should have the Lumafly lantern if you're making it into Crystal Peak. It will just end up helping you out a ton. So over here we will have a bench. Okay, so from the bench, you can make your way up. I like to go up and to the left. You can go to the right. Just personal preference. I like to jump on these. They're just kind of fun, right? Also note, if you pogo on them, they turn back over. Took me way too long to figure that out. So from here, just keep going to the right. So we were at the bench, just down and to the left. Again, the bench is right here. And now we're going to make our way to the right. And you absolutely will need the Lumafly lantern. I almost forgot. You're going to need it through here. Otherwise, you have to deal with those crystal hunters. And I know a lot of people don't like crystal hunters, especially the ones that are in the dark. There we go. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. So once you get to here, if you jump and make your way across here, this is where you will find the descending dark. This is the upgrade to the dive ability, so definitely worth checking that out. But if you make your way down, this is where you will end up finding the dream nail, which is a pretty big plot point to say the least. You head down to the right, and then right here, that's where you find the dream nail. That's the beginning of getting towards the end game. That'll put a couple of things on your map. And so if we continue on, here we are on the map. We made our way down from the Crystal Peak and into the resting grounds. This is, like I was saying, where you'd find the dream nail, and we're going to make our way up to where we are going to find the Stag Station. Nice and easy. I broke it right here. And what's nice is this one isn't going to cost you geo like most of the other Stag Stations. All right, there we go. The resting grounds, nice and easy. And so once you get out of here, you can open up some different paths. You can make your way over to the iconic Blue Lake. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Okay, so the next place that we're going to go find is the Queen's Station. And so, unfortunately, there is no Stag Station anywhere near the Queen's Station. They're really far away. There's a Forgotten Crossroads one, which you can come down around and drop down. It's almost as fast as to go from Dirtmouth and drop straight down into the Fungal Wastes. And then there's the City of Tears. Maybe that's the fastest way. You just kind of try to backtrack. I don't know. You can get there however you want. I'm going to start us here from the Fungal Waste and kind of an iconic spot, which I think that you should be able to get to fairly easily here on the map, is the Fungal Waste. This is how we made our way into the City of Tears. For most people, this is how people make their way into the City of Tears for the very first time. I think anyway. This is also very close to where we got the wall jump, the Mantis Claw ability. Again, you got that in the Mantis Village. So from here, we can drop down as if we're going back into said Mantis Village. You got these fun exploding spore shroom things. And now, right here, pogo off the purple mushrooms and make your way over to the left. So instead of going down into the Mantis Village, we're going to head over to the left. So don't forget to explore and get other stuff while you're making your way downtown. But right here is a switch that you can open up this door, which would obviously normally be locked. Get rid of that guy. And so here we are on the map. And as you can see, to get to the Queen Station from here, we're going to make our way up and around this way. And if you haven't been here before, oh, this is where you'd normally find Cornifer. But if you've already found Cornifer, if you've gotten to a certain point in the game, you'll find this guy. This is Mr. Mushroom. And if you are wearing a specific charm called the Spore Shroom Charm, you can talk to Mr. Mushroom. He's unresponsive, and he shows up in, I think, 5 different locations. I'll let you guys look into that a little bit more on your own. It's kind of an interesting character, to say the least. So anyway, we're going to press on. We're going to keep going up, and then we're going to make our way over to the left. So as you can see right there, you got yourself a nice little mask shard. Not too hard to do, just a little platforming. And just make your way down into the left. And just like that, we made our way into the Queen's Station. Okay, so the next and second to last Stag Station that we're going to be going, actually third to last Stag Station that we're going to be going after is going to be the Queen's Garden Station. So there is 2 main ways that you get in here. One is you come up and over to the left, and right here you're gonna need to have Isma's Tear. Isma. I always get that one wrong. If you don't know how to get that, it is in the Royal Waterways. I kind of touched on it when we talked about getting over to the King's Station. But you need that ability to be able to progress that way. The other way is a lot more difficult, much more end game, and that is where you need to have the Shade Cloak or Shadow Dash ability, because there is a Shade Gate that is blocking the way here. So you could either keep coming up and to the left and then drop down. What I'm going to do is show you how to get there if you have Isma's Tear, Isma's Tear, and how to get down and around and through all of this, because I think that that's just much easier, and more than likely I'm going to assume that you're more likely to have that than you are to have the Shade Cloak ability. You know, if you've got the Shade Cloak ability, it's very likely you must have been to the Queen's Garden. Look at that. You must have been there, and there's a reason for it. So here we go. So now, making our way over to the left. So there actually, I believe there is another way to get in there from here, coming from Greenpath. but I can't remember exactly that way off the top of my head. So we're gonna go this way. There's like 3 different ways to get anywhere in this game. It's really awesome. Just because I'm showing you one way to get somewhere, don't assume that's the only way to get somewhere. It's just the way that I am used to getting from one place to another. So there's lots of different ways to do things in this game, which is one of the reasons why it's so fun and awesome, is that you will eventually you can stumble on to where it is you need to go. So far, all we did is make our way all the way over to the left. And once we get here, you'll notice that this path right here is going to be blocked for you the very first time that you get here. Unfortunately, because as you can see, the Stag Station sign's right here. We're actually very close to the Stag Station. It's just left and down. But in typical Metroidvania style, you have to be challenged. You can't just get there. That'd be too easy, right? So we're gonna make our way down and to the right. So the very bottom right of that room. And then I think we have to do a little fight in this next room. Yeah, we gotta fight these enemies. Whoop. Swing and a miss. All right, so once that gate opens up, if you head up and to the right, there you go. That's where you'll find Cornifer and a bench. If you head down, this gate is locked. And so the way to open up this gate is to do some slight platforming. Oh my gosh. And I have a charm on that makes my dash a little bit longer than normal. And so it is messing me up. There we go. That was just rude. Okay, let's pretend like that didn't happen, because this platforming is super easy. You'll have no problem with it at all. Oh. There we go. Right here is a switch that allows you to keep going. So I know that some people needed help with finding that switch in some of my other videos. I said, how do you open that gate? There you go. That's how you open up the gate. And so here we're on the map. We're going to make our way down and then to the left. There is a way to open up this on this side, if I remember correctly. And then that'll just make it faster when you're trying to get here from the Queen Station. You can make your way up and around. There's a breakable wall here. And if you keep going, yeah, you can get back to here faster if you'd like. Shh, 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 shh. I'm an expert. I would never land on the spikes. Not me. There we go. Okay. So here, this room's actually pretty difficult, mostly because you got a lot of flying enemies, and these things don't last very long. You can let yourself drop. Super helpful if you've got the double jump ability. Just makes it so you can stay up in the air a little bit longer. You make your way over to a much needed bench over here. To the left. Beautiful bench, actually. This is probably one of the top benches of the game. So from here, we have to back out to the right just a little bit. And then we will make our way to where we can climb up right here. As you can see, we're getting much, much closer to this Stag Station here. And so in this next room, you got a little fight. So just a heads up, we're gonna go ahead and skip that fight. We don't need to watch all that. Just know it's kind of tough, especially if you're not ready for it. But you'll be ready for it, because you know it's coming. Okay, so here we are on the map. We'll just make our way up. And just when you think you've made it to the Stag Station, nope, You still have a ways to go. You have to come up and around and to the left. You're literally going to have to climb all the way up here. And then around and all the way. It's a trek to this Stag Station. I know the first time through is difficult to say the least. It is very difficult. I don't know if difficult's the right word. Annoying, maybe. Anyway, well, here's that switch that we had talked about earlier to be able to get to the Stag Station. But in order to actually get to the Stag Station, you have to come up and around. You have to prove your worth. And you have to fight these super annoying enemies. And I'm just gonna run right through them. I'm gonna act like they're not even there. It's not a good technique. Don't worry, I just healed off screen and then came back. I can heal, right? Is that allowed? It sure is. So we made our way, literally we just ran all the way over and we're just gonna make our way down and to the right. Super easy. Once we make our way over to the right, a bunch of these little, I forget what these guys are called. I always want to say obels, but I don't think obels is the right name. So drop down. Again, here we're on the map. And it's almost a straight shot over to the stag once we make our way to the right. So here you have a dream boss. Yeah, don't do that yet. You want to make sure to save at this bench over here. Boom, just like that. You make it inside here. You hit the switch. You get the stag. Once you hit the switch, that's what opens up this door here and makes life so much better. And then once you have the rest of the map, but two, you can go do that. You can go do that dream boss and make life so much easier. And then now we're down to our last two stag stations. So from here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go fast travel over to the Queen's Station. And then we're going to make our way over into the distant village. And I'll show you how to get to that stag station. From there, that will open up our last and final stag station, which will end up being in the Howling Cliffs. Howling Cliffs. Howling Cliffs. So let's go ahead and make our way over there now to the Queen's Station. All right. Always good to sit at a bench before you start making these long treks. Especially this one, especially because it's so dark. You definitely want to have the Lumifly lantern before you make this journey, because it's gonna be dark, it's gonna be scary, it's gonna be easy to get stuck in here. Sometimes it's hard to get back out. You want to make sure you've got all the food and water. So far, we made our way from the Queen's Station, right, and we took the first drop here. So this is near where you'd find conifer for the fungal wastes. And so here, clearly need that double jump ability. And we'll drop down. So this is just the way that I personally like to get into Deep Nest. It's not the only way into Deep Nest. Clearly, once you make your way into Mantis Village and you get the Mantis Claw and all that, you can go into the Mantis Village, fight the sisters, and make your way into Deep Nest this way. I personally don't do that. I like to go this way because when you do this way, conifer is going to be put like right in front of you, and it's like impossible to miss the map. So I'll show you how to find him if this is your first time going through Deep Nest and you want to know how to get to the stag station. If you come from this other way, conifer shows up in another location, and I honestly don't know where that is off the top of my head. All right, so you gotta do some pogoing. Don't forget that little guy. And so right here is a secret breakable wall. You can just kind of sit on this ledge and kind of hit up, and you'll break this open. But don't forget our little friend up there. So right here, this area will that doesn't open until you make your way. I think you have to either come down, or a lot of times I just make my way to the next room, and then when you come back, this path right here will just break open and it'll just suck you down into Deep Nest. So if you're not ready for it, that's kind of scary the first time you ever do that. So once you make your way to the bottom, it's very dark, and we're gonna head over to the right. And so you got these enemies that are annoying to say the least. So we're gonna keep going down a little ways. Oop. And that's the thing, is you're kind of never safe. We're gonna keep dropping all the way straight down through this room. I'm trying to get all the way to the very bottom. These Garpedes, some of them are fast, some of them are slow. Got lots of enemies coming after you. Alright. So once you drop to the bottom of this room, we're going to kind of head to the left. And it's a little bit of a maze, but it's not too bad. So kind of hug the left wall a little bit. You can skip going down. It's just a dead end. It's nothing too crazy. Follow this to the right and around. To the right and around. So there's nothing really over here. And up. And so right here, you got this long fall. And again, you just can't get back up this stuff. So you're just kind of always going forward. But at the very least, you got yourself a nice bench. If you keep going to the right, you'll eventually find a tram. But you won't be able to leave via the tram until you get the tram pass. So there's only really one way you can go. Once you've made it into Deep Nest, once you've made it this far, you're in it. You can't go back up. You can't go to the right. There's literally nothing else you can do. You can only go forward. So this is your first time in Deep Nest. Welcome. Might be here for a little bit because it's dark. It's a little bit on the scary side. If you come over here to the left, there's a little path up there. That's there's a boss fight. But you're not. I don't think you're here for the boss fight. You're here for the Stag Station. So we're gonna make our way over to the left of this room. So right here, that first opening. Let me get some health in here. And for the most part, generally speaking, we're just trying to head to the left. Ooh, and avoid the spikes. Those are the two main things. So you can actually pogo off of these spikes. They sound like they're made out of, I don't know, steel or something. It sounds very strong. It's not like the normal spikes. These guys are not fun, but you can jump over them sometimes if the path is wide enough. But don't get stuck. You want to come up here, and then we're gonna keep going to the left. So once you make it into this big room here, you gotta kind of go up and to the left. If you go just to the left, you're that's wrong. You don't want to go that way. Just flat out. If you want to leave, you want to go up and to the left. And then you've got all these spiders that are just kind of show up out of nowhere, trying to mess with you. Ideally, you want to go up from here, but sometimes you can get a lucky pogo off a spider to make your way up there, but don't worry about it. So see how this floor, when you first come through here, this floor is breakable, and it will try to make you fall in there. So be very, very careful for the floor collapsing. So once you get to here, I think it's this first opening. You make your way up. Again, collapsible floors, watch out, bunch here. And then this first opening up again. So we went up on the first two spots that we could go up. And now we're just heading straight to the left. So here's a map. In order to press on, we gotta go up and around. Nothing too crazy here. This part is not the most fun with this little guy. but you'll get it. You'll get it. Oop. Just gotta watch out for them spikes. The spikes and the spiders that just spawn out of nowhere. Those are the two main things. Alright, so once you get to the paved road, you know you're going the right way. And so as you can see, this sign says there's a Stag Station nearby. Once you are here, watch out, because if you fall all the way to the bottom, and you have a very long trek up and around just to get back to where you're at here. Not very fun. It might happen. So again, double jump is very helpful, but is not absolutely mandatory. So you make your way up and around. Don't go in here before you get to the Stag Station. You want to get to the Stag Station first. You definitely want to get to the Stag Station first. So right here, we know we're at the Stag Station. Lots of silk. In here, we have the stag. And if we talk to the stag, he'll tell us a little bit more about his station. And now that we have found all of the other Stag Stations, Dirtmouth, Forgotten Crossroads, Greenpath, Queen Station, Queen's Garden, City, Storerooms, King Station, Resting Grounds, Distant Village, and the Hidden Station, we can make our way over to the Stag Nest. And so this is the last and final Stag Station, the quick travel path in Hollow Knight. And one thing that's nice about here is that when you do get here, it's actually required to be able to get a soul vessel. Fun fact. Boom. Just like that. Extra soul. And so when you are here, there's no bell because they assume that there is no way to get here. There is a place that you can leave, but you can't really get back here from this place. So let me show you what I'm talking about. If you continue on, look, it looks like there's a big elevator for stags, but there's also a little elevator for you. Make sure to go explore off to the left. And if you come out here to the right, not sure what would be here. Maybe there's some flying bugs that can make their way up here. But we've made our way to the top of the Howling Cliffs. And you can see if we jump down, there's really not an easy way back. I mean, there might be some crazy super speedrunner way to get back up there. Maybe some sort of glitch, a flying glitch or something. But just like that, that was all of them. That was every Stag Station in Hollow Knight. I hope that you found this video helpful. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Please be sure to return for the Tuesday night live streams every Tuesday, 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. And I'll catch you again more real soon. Thank you. Bye.